good afternoon. Let's continue. I'm back with different topic. Next phase, construction phase, and how we can use BIM models on project, on site. So there's 3 different topics. First is how to get the quantities and purchase the material with BIM model. Then surveying integration for quality control. How can we create surveying or layout points in Tekla, get the information to Trimble surveying device, and then back to Tekla model, the actual points. And last but not least, the BIM on mobile devices, so how you can use and utilize iPads, iPhones on site. Okay, first thing was purchase materials with BIM. So like I showed you, we can use the organizer tool to get the location-based quantities. And of course, when we're talking about Tekla, it's a constructible model, so we can get the real detailed information of what to purchase and when. And like I also already showed you, we can do the material tracking in Tekla too. So we have a simple task, get quantities from the same project I earlier showed you. So let's jump back to Tekla and start taking the quantities. So same model, same tools. So let's check the organizer, how it works with the quantity takeoffs. So I showed you already that we have created these locations, sections of floors, but now we want to concentrate on different structures. So, for example, let's start with steel frame. Here we have the locations, and down here we have a customized group that we can easily create manually or rule-based. And I will show the rule-based system because it's handy, quick, and when we got the new model, updated model, when it's rule-based, everything will automatically go in the right groups. It's also a good tool for checking the information in the model. So let's double-click the steel group and open the basic settings. So here I can just say that we will take steel columns. I'm using the selection filters if someone knows, but we can easily say that I want a steel beam included, steel column, and steel plate. And then just a couple of settings that I'm only interested about. The whole assemblies, not the part level, and I will using the quantity takeoff report for this. And after that, it will automatically, based on these rules that I defined, gather all the steel structures under the group. And then I can start checking, of course, the information. For example, here I can see each object on the row. And like I did earlier, I can do the quick grouping here on object browser side, so I can check, for example, check the material. I can see that there's 3 different kind of materials in the steel structures. Then, for example, I can group by another attribute called assembly prefix that calls what kind of structure it is. Is it a beam or column or what is it? So I can quickly get this kind of grouping on the object browser and see that, okay, this material and this code, how much we have kilograms or tons for that steel, for example. And now this grouping I can also use on the right side here. I just say that create using this grouping on object browser that I just created. And then it takes 30 seconds, and then it will automatically do groups and subgroups based on this grouping here. And then like I said, now this is rule based, so if we create a new steel column, it will automatically go to the right group and we can get the quantities quickly. So now you can see that on the right side we have the same kind of grouping, and now we can start checking the model that where is what. Let's change the select object, and now we can just double clicking here, we can see quickly columns, beams and everything. And it will of course show that now if I'm checking all of the C structures, I can for example do here another grouping based on profile, and now we get two different kind of profiles. So it's a quick and handy tool to get the information. Also, if I check the whole steel structure and want to do some kind of grouping, like I already showed, let's do another one. Let's use the profile. So material and profile, and we want to export this to Excel. So we want to do some kind of additional calculation and formulas, so we can just press export to Excel, and we will see that it will import all the information, all the quantities to Excel, and we can also see the locations here, so we can do another kind of grouping that we can get the section A floor 1 steel structures. And this new Excel also remembers this grouping that I created in Object Browser, so you can step between the different levels of the information. So here we can see the 3 materials, for example. And I noticed that, for example, the weight is missing, so we can go to the settings and change or add some information that we are, for example, interested. So we can quickly customize and change these reports, that kind of reports that we are interested, for example. And now we get kilos or tons, so we can get the correct information of the steel structures. Okay, let's continue. For example, we have a task that we need to calculate all the rebars in a foundation. So there was the rebars here, and we want to calculate the quantities, use the size or the material to order and purchase the materials. So again, let's use a filter for checking from the model all the information, and use the rebar template for that. Now we have all the rebars here, and it will show all the information. Now let's use the section for grouping and the floor also. Let's use actually the floor, only the floor, so we can now see the floors, and one was named foundation, so then I can just select the foundation. And let's use the grade and the size, and now we can see that in foundation this type we have size 8, how many kilograms or how many tons we have this rebar. And again, we can export this information to Excel and continue, send that and purchase the material. Another example, you can do it also for cast in place structures. So let's check if we have pores here. And now we have all the cast in place structures we can see the volumes here, and we can also use the organizer so that we select from model all the information. For example, this one slab, and it will give the volume or the area. And we had also for more detail level quantity takeoffs, we can also cut this slab in different parts if we are doing smaller pores in this floor, for example. So I cut this slab in 4 parts, and now we can have the volumes for the different slabs then, or the pores. So we can quickly select from the model or using the grouping here on right side to get the quantities. And there was also asked question about IFCs, so I can show you also example of IFC. So we have the architectural model, I think it was from Revit, and we can see it now there. So it's external, internal walls, some light structures. We can also see that there's a crane imported for the site plan. And now we can use the same settings like I showed you. So we can collect all the reference objects using filter, and then use IFC template for that. So let's check the name, for example. Now we can see that the naming of the reference object is not standardized, so there's a different kind of names. There is also map models, but if we go and see, we can, for example, find all the internal wall from the model, and then let's just highlight these, so we can highlight all the internal walls from the model. And we can also, if there's a quantity information inside the IFC objects, we can also calculate the total area of these walls. So you can also calculate IFC quantities from there. Yeah. Okay, so that was about quantity takeoffs and getting the quantities, for example, to Excel. So let's get back. So second topic was the surveying integration for quality control. So of course the Tekla model, the BIM model, is really detail level, and we got all the right coordinates, so we want to use that information on site. And of course the benefit is that it's not 2D, it's 3D, so we can also get the elevation to the coordinate information quickly. And then we can, end result is that we can see the planet and actual surveying points on the model. So our task is, for example, to get the coordinates from the foundation and make sure that they're on the correct place. So we can already, if we go more deeper, we can see that there probably is some surveying points already here. So it looks like a normal object, round object in Tekla, and it has information of the coordinate. So all kind of information, also the level elevation information. And this, you can easily start creating these layout points, just clicking and snapping the structures that you want to check that are in correct places, for example. So it's easy tool, and we have a additional extension tool for that. You can, for example, create surveying points for all the foundation structures at once. So there is a manual way to add these surveying points, or the rule-based also for that. Then we have a tool called Layout Manager for managing the information and the points, and exporting and importing the data. So here are all the points that we have created, and we can go and zoom select that, so I can see that, okay, this point was corner of this footing here, and it has some information. And then we have an option that we can import and export, and there's different kind of file formats, TXT and some Trimble formats. So if you have a Trimble device, we have a more direct link for these kind of file formats. But if you're cannot use those, you can also use the TXT or CSV file for this. So let's export this file. Okay, I select only one point. Let's select all the points and then export this file. Points 2, and then just export it. And we can go and see now that what kind of file it created. So it's a basic file of the point names and the coordinates. So nothing special, simple TXT or CSV file. And these kind of files, all the surveying devices understand. A bit different, and you can change the settings that how it will look like. But what I got feedback that it works with the default settings too. And of course you can use organizer to select some of the information, and we have also layout point setting that you can select from model, and you can see some detail and information in object browser. But then of course we're interested to get the feedback from the site. So the surveying guys now import the TXT file on the device, and then takes the actual points, and then we need to get the actual points back to Tekla. So I've already created this demo file, and we can now select same kind of file, then load that one. I want to create a new group that they will be imported. Then I just select what points I want to import, and then press OK. So it will take again some seconds, and it will automatically import the actual points back to Tekla. And now we can see that the planet is the blue one, and the actual surveying point is the red one. And then of course we can now use organizer to see what's the difference between these, if the tolerance is okay. So you can see visually where's the actual points. And of course, if you're interested about, let's jump this. If you're interested about the point clouds, so Trimble has also a RealWorks software for point clouds, but I'm not showing that today. So if you're interested, you can find that from Google. Okay, the last topic is the BIM models on mobile devices. So what about that? So we have a product called Tekla Field 3D, and of course it's on iPad, so it must be an easy and simple tool, so it's easy to get and learn. So you can, with that you can view IFC models, complex big projects, and it will smoothly view all the things that are there. So yeah, and you can also see all the rebars and constructible details in the model. And for example, let's have a task that we have this little bit different kind of project. We have the renovation project, so there's an existing building, new steel structures in the roofs, and new MEP ducts and all the MEP stuff in the existing building. So it's always a tight place to fit everything. So let's check with the iPad, can everything fit? Okay, I just change the device, and then we can go see how the model looks like on iPad. Okay, so here we are. Let's start with basic things. So we have the whole project, everything is now there. So there's an architecture model, there's a structure model, and map model. And we can see that there's a huge amount of different kind of files. They are all IFCs, but in this Tekla Field 3D, it's been changed to their own file format, so it can work like game graphics. So if you turn the model, it takes a while and it will automatically update all the graphics. So it can really quickly view all the detailed information in the model. And I can show you that, for example, let's select only the architectural model, and it can quickly turn on only the architectural model, and we can see that it starts viewing it a bit smoother because there's less data on the view. So in this project we can see that the architect has modeled quite much the external walls and internal walls and all the facade and everything. And here we can use basic functions for example that are in Tekla structures or Tekla BIM site. So for example, clipping tool, and we can then go inside the building. For example, walk there and turn our head and watch the structures. So what about the structural model? Let's select only Tekla model. So because it's quite interesting to see what the structural model in this case modeled. So we can see that all the facade that was designed with the architect and modeled, so the structural model concentrated maybe on the bearing walls, didn't model all the light walls. And then there's this new steel structure in the roof that of course is quite heavy, and we can easily view what's now inside there. But of course the most interesting thing is that we can turn everything on and start viewing all the design disciplines combined. Yeah, let's go to the roof structure and start checking what's the situation there. And there's always home button if you get lost, so that you can always press that one. Let's use the clip tool for get us to the correct place. So we can now see all the design disciplines, so we can see also the map ducts here. And if we go closer, it will update and we can see that everything is there. So it's really detailed map model also. Okay, so I was talking about roof structures, so let's go inside there and let's go watch the situation there. I can fly or walk, so there's a different tool for that. Let's use the walk mode now. It's much easier inside, so now I can just walk through here. Wait a second, so it will update again everything, and then see that everything looks pretty good. It's tight place, but everything seems to fit. Okay, let's have another example. So the map installation team, if you want to help them to get, for example, elevation of the ducts, so that they can easily install the ducts in the correct elevation. So let's use again the clip plane. Let's select some ducts. For example, here in this floor, use the walk mode. That's nice. We can again turn our head and watch and view where are we. Okay. Here we can see that there's the ceiling. We can turn it transparent, so we can, for example, see that okay, inside the ceiling there's a couple ducts, but let's hide the ceiling, and then we can use the elevation. So I will now set the elevation for this floor right here, and then I can easily select and ask the elevation of different structures. So it will show that what's the bottom and top and the center elevation of that structure. For map installer, that's a quite important information for the installation. So you can easily check the elevations here. Okay. Then there's also many other features, for example, taking photos and creating comments. So you can walk on the site and then take, for example, photos. So let's add a photo, for example, here. So first I select some object. It could be for rebar or footing, so I can select an object and then yeah, let's try to do that. So photo, and then let's see. So it went there, and then I can add some information. It can be private or it can be shared. If there's a group of people, so I can send this to the cloud and they can see the same photo on their iPad device. But I can use it only for myself and private. So I can now add some information to this photo and then of course save it. And now you can see the photo icon on the model. And we can also save snap points or snapshots from the model. For example, there was a question about these ducts. So the ducts are clashing, and it was shared node, so I could find that from my iPad and then close it. It will automatically take me to that coordinate, and I can now continue viewing the model and see that really this is a real problem. There is the roof structure and the duct are clashing quite heavily, so we need to do something with the situation. There was also some other things, door position in the stairs. That was quite interesting. So there's a door in the stairs, and actually there's no ceiling at well, it's quite okay, but still there's something missing. So we can find these kind of different kind of issues in the model and then save it using the photo or the note feature. You can also select, for example, 4th floor, so we can easily use these different kind of snapshots. Okay, so this is how you can use iPads on site. You can also use the same models on iPhone, so it's really smooth and light tool for viewing IFC models. So I think this is like 200 or 300 megabytes, these IFCs, and still you can view it quickly here. And if you're interested to hear more about that, I can show you one link that you can find from YouTube. So if you're interested to hear what Skanska in Finland, how they have used mobile devices on site, so just write YouTube Skanska models in use or mobile devices. There is a 5-minute video how they use the iPads on site, and also BIM models. Okay, that was it. Thank you. Achu.